What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Chad Townsend Show. And look, I am very, very proud to announce that we have a special guest on today's show. We're looking at the 2025 NRL Grand Final preview. Jack Gosiewski joins us, the Chicken Man.
The Chicken Man, that is me.
How are you, brother?
I'm good. It's good to be down in Sydney. It's obviously a big, crazy week, so I'm happy to be here and happy to come and see you. It's been good.
Mate, you've had a busy year on and off the field, which we'll get into, and I'm excited to sort of ask you a few questions about that. But, mate, obviously this season for you at the Broncos, I want to take it right back. Obviously, Michael Maguire, his first season in charge,
Yep.
and if I had it right, you spent some time with Madge at Souths earlier in your career.
Yeah.
So you did have a prior relationship with him, but obviously the big decision from the club around Kevy last year, moving a club legend on, and failing to make the 8, and the decision to bring Madge in. How was that when that decision, I guess, was made for you guys at the Bronx?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, all the stuff with Kevy going on. I'd only been there for half the year, so it was still a massive impact. But when it was all going on, and then the coaches' names were getting tossed up, and then it was obviously Madge, it was like, yes, got Madge back there. At the same time, it was like, oh shit, pre-season's coming around the corner. But no, it was good. I've obviously had a really good relationship with Madge. I knew what he was like and what the training was going to be, so that sort of helped me in a way. And then it was all systems go come pre-season.
Now, the pre-season. I mean, I've heard a lot of stories around Madge. I mean, you know what it's like when you're playing the NRL. You tend to hear a few stories about coaches and pre-seasons and whatever. So you just touched on it, but pre-season under Madge gets announced. He's coming in. Pre-season under Madge. What is that like for you guys at the Broncos?
Look, I knew what to expect. That was like when I started my career, that's how the training was with him. So that was like what I always thought NRL is like. But like everyone says, like it was hard. It was hard, yeah. But like pre-season at any club's hard in different ways. We obviously did lots of defending, lots of running, the normal things. But it was intense. The days were long, but you can see where we are now. It's obviously paid off.
Yeah, and that was like the thing. I mean, the mainstream media tend to sort of, they run their sort of own narrative, you know what I mean? And some things are true and some aren't, but the narrative coming out of Brisbane was that Madge was just flogging you guys to death.
Every club's doing it though, so it was like our days were long and the training was hard, but it's like it's what you expect at that time of year. Everyone would have been doing similar things.
Give us a little insight in like what a normal day for you guys would have been in pre-season with regards to, your field, weights, wrestle, whatever it may be.
Yeah, so you've pretty much gone through it there, but we'd come in early, we'd start early, do our prep, go through some video, go and do a big field session. So we'd usually do field sessions in the morning, go from there, have our lunch, come back in and do our weights, and then we'd either have some cardio or whatever like that, or then we'd be going off-site to do our wrestle. We had Benny Teo in for our D, so they were some big sessions. We did some hard sessions with him, but yeah, it was sort of what I found was the length of days was the hardest for me. We were there for a long period of time, but it was good. It was good.
I feel you, brother. They're long days, man. They're long days. You just touched on Benny Teo, past player at the Broncos.
Yep.
Madge, obviously, the Broncos had sort of signed some assistant coaches, I'm pretty sure, already that were there with Kevy.
Yeah.
Madge sort of came in. Tell me a bit about his assistants, Trent Barrett, Matt Ballin, Ben Teo, who's your blue shirt trainer.
Yep.
Tell me about the influence or how these guys have helped you guys this year.
Yeah, they've been really good. They've obviously helped us get to where we are this week. I had Baz also at Manly, and he's been doing our attack, and he's really, really good. Like
he's one of my
super
favourite
smart.
players.
Oh, he's one of mine as well. Super tough.
Yeah.
I saw actually. I don't know if you saw the video of at the end of the Canberra game when they won. He sort of sprayed a bit of the crowd back, so it was good to see. Still got the dog in him.
Still got that dog.
Great. But no, they've been really good. Teo doing the D, Baz doing the attack, and then Matty doing the back five. So they've been working really hard. Baz each week's given us like a really clear plan. You could see that our attack at the start of the year probably wasn't where it is at the end of the year. Like we've improved heaps. We've improved a lot actually. So you can obviously see the work that we've been putting in, and new coaches coming in and all new staff. So it was obviously going to take a while for us to get to where we were humming along and looking good. But you can see that where we're at now.
Yeah, and you guys have had like a great season. I mean, look where where you're at now. Obviously, no season sort of goes perfect or really to plan, does it? You know what I mean? There's obviously adversity along the way. What do you think are some of the, I guess, the core kind of values that this team, I guess really held their hat on, so far this year, whether that be earlier in the season that you spoke about or whatever it may be?
Yeah, look, we wanted to have a really good connection as a group. That was something that was really important to us, and I think we definitely have that. Like, we've done lots of things throughout the year, spent lots of time together, done lots of hard things together, which has created that connection. And then probably another one was we wanted to be a tough team and be a good defensive team. Obviously, we all know that defence wins premierships and wins games, and I think that we've shown throughout the year different stages that we're a tough team. We've been down and out in a lot of games and come back and ended up winning, so that was something that I think has been really good for us, and that was probably what we've been hanging our hat on this year is being a tough and connected team.
What about some of the leaders in the squad? I mean, you've got Adam Reynolds, Dozer, Benny Hunt, who have been around the game for a long time. Tell me about the influence of the two veteran halves and how they have, I guess, helped you guys, over the course of the up and downs of the year.
Yeah, we've got an unbelievable team, but we've got such a different variety. We've got obviously Dozer and Reno that are older. And then you've obviously got younger people like Payne, who's only 25, and Paddy, who's around that age as well, that are at a different age, but they're still unbelievable leaders. But Dozer and Reno, like, we know that if we've got both those players on the team, we're a huge chance of winning. It was a really positive to see that obviously Reno had been out the last few weeks, but we still went really well without him, which was a massive positive. Billy Walters really stood up. He was unbelievable in those rounds leading into the end of the season. But when we've got those sort of players on the field, we know what Reno does, steers us around, and then Dozer's the same. But then Dozer has moments in games that end up being a huge impact. He can change a game, 40-20s, something defensively. He always just somehow can create a moment from nothing that can really change the momentum of a game. And then you've obviously got Payne, Katoni, Paddy. Like, it's just unbelievable team. Then you got Walshy added into that as well.
Mate, it is an unbelievable team, and I think the Broncos, like, man, in my opinion, one of the most powerful teams in football. You know what I mean? In the NRL, have been for a long time. Huge fan base. You just spoke about Payne Haas and the fact that he's only 25 years old. The bloke has pretty much had, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame career already, and it's not even halfway over. Talk to me about what's Payne Haas like, the man. What I guess people may not see about Payne. Obviously he's a huge figure. He runs for 200 metres every game. What's he like? Just chilling in the sheds or sort of away from training?
Yeah, he's massive for the club, but he's a humble guy. He's a quiet, humble, well-mannered, really, really good bloke. Like, he's some stuff that he does with his family and some stuff that he's been through is unbelievable. But to see how well put together he is and well rounded as an individual is really good. He's a great father, great partner, great friend, great leader. He's ticks all the boxes on and off the field, and obviously the stuff that he does on the field is ridiculous. It's some of the stuff that he does, you can't even fathom how he gets through that. And to be honest, he's been injured half the year. Like, he's been, sometimes during the week I think, God, how's he going to get up and play? And then he still gets out there and runs for 250 metres, and that just blows my mind. And you never really, like, you can see that he's carrying some injuries in that, but he never lets it affect him or affect the team. He just still gets on with his job and does what's needed for the team.
Yeah, I love that. Just
unbelievable.
Oozes toughness, man. He's one of my favourite players to watch. I think when he's on the field, he's the best prop in the game. I honestly think that. Reece Walsh, man, I was lucky enough to spend a little bit of time with Walshy a couple of years ago when I spent a little bit of a hiatus at the Warriors, and Walshy was very young then. But to me, like, I love seeing Walshy back in Brisbane. I think he's a Bronco. What I mean? That's how I feel. Obviously has a massive cult following, all the kids loving.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about Walshy and sort of the influence I guess he has on the playing group, because you see, in my opinion, he was the best player in the competition. You know, when you mentioned that time about Renault and as Roman being out, I think he went to another level. But tell me a bit about Walshy and how the influence he's had.
For me, probably with him, my favourite thing about him is he's always in the game and he's always trying whatever he sees, and he's never going to go into his shell. He's always going to play what he sees, and he's going to try and win at all costs. Off the field, super humble, really nice guy, well mannered, like good with my partner, good with my son. Like he's such a good fellow. Got a really soft spot for him. But on the field, some of the things he can do, and he's just competitiveness, and he's tough as well. I don't think he gets enough credit for how tough he is. He might get it out of a few tackles, and I've seen I can't remember what game it was, but he hurt his back, got up, did a slow play the ball, but he ran down the field at an inside ball and he was there to score. But the influence he can have on our team and the way he can change the game is unbelievable. I remember the Canberra game, I wasn't playing and he got sent for 10. So I've gone in the sheds with him. It was actually quite funny. And we're sitting in the sheds and I just went in there so I could someone for him to talk to, just sort of try and keep him calm or whatever. And we're in there and I could hear the crowd screaming and I was like, oh, they'd scored. And I was like, oh shit, that's all right. The next thing you know, I could hear the crowd going off again and I was like, what's going on? And then next thing you know, Paddy Carrigan just rolls in the sheds as well and I'm thinking, far out. I'm like, what's going on out there? Anyway, and it was, while she was about to go back out, and I think it was like 28-12, and Paddy was still in there and I kept saying to Paddy, I was like, it's all right, we've got time. And then Walshy just went out there and just like single-handedly just got the game back, and that was crazy. I'm sure that was for you probably the craziest game you've ever seen.
The craziest game I have ever seen. One of the best games I've ever seen. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
One definitely. Of single-handedly the best, most entertaining games I've ever seen. And Walshy basically just said, like he said, here we go, boys.
How he did that. It was like that last month of our footy that we've had was when we versed Melbourne at Suncorp. For me, that was the best in-season game I'd seen. Yeah. Before that was, I think, 2021. It was Manly versus South at Brookie. That was a crazy game. I think that was when Maddie was going at the Burgess brothers, but I was live at that game, so that was crazy. But then that Melbourne one, I was like, oh well, that's the best round game I've seen. That had everything. That had the crowd, Walshy's antics, the bloody the Dunny beers. So that was really good. And then it went from that week to Canberra, which was like the best game ever. And then it went from there into Penrith, and it was like it's just crazy. So the last month of footy at the Broncos has been bloody unbelievable and crazy just to be a part of it and watch it unfold.
Yeah, sweet. I will ask you a bit more about that. The final series in the back end of the year, but I want to go to you and your season. You've had a bit of an up and down season with some injuries and some broken arms and things like that. And in my opinion, when you were playing, like you were playing great footy, scoring some tries, contributing at a high level. Yeah. How's this season been for you? Obviously, a little bit frustrating, but bittersweet as well.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, to be honest. I left the Cowboys to come to Brisbane because of an opportunity to be at this club, and also because my mum was sick. She ended up passing away last year, which was crazy to get through that. It seemed like it was all for the right reasons. It was good that we had the chance to come back and go through that. And then the start of this year, obviously, got through the pre-season, pushed my way into the round one team, which was good. Started the year well. I ended up re-breaking my left arm at training. And then at that stage, my dad, he fell sick as well. And then he passed away from cancer like within a space of a month, which was bloody unbelievable. So that was at the same stage as going through my arm. Pushed through that to get through that, then get back into the team. Went on another run of, like you said, I thought I was playing, the games I played, I thought I was playing really good. Yeah. And then I just got unlucky with the collarbone. Was just such bad timing. I think it was round 24. I just landed on it. I thought I actually done an AC joint, and I was going, I'd never done an AC joint before. And I knew that players can play on with a bad AC joint, and I'm on the field and I'm like moving my arm around. I'm going to the trainer. I'm going, it's clicking, it's cracking, like. And I'm thinking, oh, it must just be AC. And I was trying to play on, and I was like, man, I was like, I gotta come off. I can't do this. This is like killing me. But it was like I had my collarbone was completely snapped. So then got that fixed, got that plated, did everything I could to get back into the team. And then it was sort of touch and go. I probably could have played Canberra, but that was only like 3.5 weeks post surgery. And then like, look, the run we've been on and the timing of everything, I just couldn't push my way back into the team. And that was tough. Like, it's obviously, to miss out on a grand final is crazy, but just still happy to be a part of it, obviously, and I've obviously contributed to getting here as well, which I've got to like accept that and be happy with the fact that I've done that.
Yep.
But man, a crazy year, unbelievable.
And obviously, you touched on obviously the tough time you had personally, and it's tough for anyone to go through that type of stuff. But tell me about, like, I guess mentally, the strength you had to show in those times, I guess, throughout the season, with family you just touched on, and obviously footy. And it's not easy, just going through footy, the roller coaster of footy, without this family stuff in. So tell me, like, mentally and your support network, and who helped you in that area?
Man, to be honest, like, my mum was sick for 3 or 4 years, so I sort of had a lot of time to mentally prepare for what was obviously going to happen. Like, she was sick, and eventually, like, that was going to happen. It's probably happened faster than I was expecting, but Dad to go out of the blue was crazy. That rocked me for sure. Well, basically, I just had to just take it life day by day, and I still am at the moment. It was just like, okay, well, like, in the present moment, what can I do? I was trying not to think of the past or the future. I was just like trying to stay in the moment. And to be honest, the break in my arm was a blessing, because at that time I was able to step away from footy for a little bit and spend time with the family and with my dad in hospital and everything like that. So that was in a blessing. That was actually, I didn't even care about the arm, to be honest. It was the last of my issues. But man, Avalon, my partner, she'd held me together through that whole time. It was crazy. I can't thank her enough for everything that she'd done through that period. And like, she was obviously going through it as well, and it was hard for her. And at that same time, we were obviously trying to open the business, and we're going through the process of that. So it was like, our year this year has just been crazy. But yeah, she held me together for sure. She was in and out of work, obviously taken off work to come down for me to drive down home and be with me. And then she was actually in Sydney for in-store training for the shop, but then would fly back to support me through those last stages of Dad. So it was, man, what she's done, it's bloody making me emotional. I'm trying my best to not cry. But yeah, it's been crazy.
It's big, man. You've done a hell of a job.
Yeah, thank you.
You just touched on the store, and that's one thing I did want to bring up today. Not only you manage your, obviously, NRL career, the highs and lows that has to offer. You spoke about the family, what happened there, and then to now chuck in the next sort of phase for you, whenever post-footy happens in a long-term future, you and your partner decide to open Chargrill Charlie's newstead in Brisbane.
Yeah.
You got the hat on today. Tell me about that decision around, how that came about and what that's brought to your guys' life.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty funny story. So we'd lived in Sydney for about 10 years, moved to Townsend, moved to Brisbane, and there was sort of nothing like a Chargrill Charlie's or takeaway chicken or anything in that area. So that's how sort of the thoughts had popped up into Avalon's head of like wanting to look into it. And then when she started to look into it, it was literally like Chargrill Charlie's is coming to Queensland. So then we went through the application process, that was something in itself. That was another journey. It was that was a long process, like a few month process. We had to do past interviews, fly to Sydney, do store visits, and go through all that, do business plans, P&Ls, everything. And then it was funny. So my first date with Avalon was actually at Chargrill Charlie's, but it was because, I think I was playing at Manly at the time, and you get paid monthly, right? So it was payday, and I was meeting Avalon that night for dinner, and I hadn't been paid yet, and I only had like $80 in my account, and I'm like, fuck, what are we gonna do for dinner? Like, if she wants to go to a restaurant, I'm screwed. I've only got $80. Like, I'm not going to be able to cover it. And I'm like brainstorming ideas, and I kept checking. You know how like the pay won't come until like maybe overnight or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, far out, still not in. It's like 5:30 at night. So I was like, oh, do you want to just get some takeaway and we'll go eat it somewhere nice in Sydney? Anyway, so she said yes. So then we went and got Chargrill Charlie's and went and ate at somewhere where you've got like a view of the harbour. And then it was 5 years to the day that we were in the back of the Uber in Sydney doing the store visits to try and buy a store. So it was crazy how that happened, but it was pretty funny at the same time. But it's been good.
So you've opened it up, man. That's an awesome story. I love that. So you've opened up the shop, and obviously, you know, I've seen, I guess from afar, the success it's had on social media and the opening, and now the Broncos. You know, talk to me about, I guess, how the boys kind of received the news that you were kind of going into Chargrill Charlie's and the club and the support they kind of showed you for the shop.
Yeah, they were stoked. Obviously, the community and the club have been so supportive. It's been crazy, and they've helped us so much with marketing, just with support. Any business questions we had, the club would support in that aspect. But from them helping share it on social media to then our soft launch was just, we did Brisbane, just basically the club, and then some of Avalon's where she used to work, some of them guys as well. And then basically from them sharing it on social media, and then their continued support since it's been open is unbelievable. We've got players that eat in there multiple times a week, all the time. Katoni's probably one of our biggest. He's in there all the time. Payne's in there.
The feeds look cracker,
mate. The feeds are unbelievable, and you can obviously see the reason that we're in the grand final is because of the store. But look, you can tell that the support they've given us is unbelievable. I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done and the continued support. And the way that they still come into the store obviously means a lot to me and the family. Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that, because I love seeing players, I love seeing teammates go out and actually create something for the future and long term. So tell me about, like, how do you see the vision for long term? I mean, obviously, you know, we're getting a bit older in the game. You know, what is the long term sort of future you think for you guys with that?
Yeah, so it's good to have that set up now. It sort of takes a bit of pressure off the football, having that as a fallback. We're just going to keep really focusing on the new farm store and getting that pumping as best we can. We do want to open more stores. We've actually had a little look around Brisbane at some other locations, but we've got our eyes set maybe down the Gold Coast would be unbelievable. But I'll try and play footy probably till I can, see how long that goes for, and then integrate into the business. This off season I'll do some in-store training and everything, get me up to speed a little bit more. That was also another hard part of the store opening. Avalon she did I think 14 weeks, so a long stint in Sydney of in-store training where I didn't get to do any of that. So the store would open and I'm in there like trying to get around, don't even know what I'm doing. Like I could do general stuff, like general knowledge stuff, but as for the business, I didn't know how any of it was meant to run, how any of it was meant to look, anything like that. So I'd almost be in the way when I was in there in some ways, because I'd just be getting around having to ask people, what can I do here, what can I do there? But so that was it would have been great if I was able to get the in-store training to help support Avalon in the opening, because it would have taken a lot of stress off her. But I'm sure through the off-season I'll be able to get up to speed in a little bit, and then so future post-footy will be hopefully have another couple stores and then just integrate into that.
And what are some of the things you've learnt in footy and being around a team that you've taken over to business and to Chargrill Charlie's?
Having a good culture for sure. Avalon has a background in HR, but the culture that she's got with our staff has been crazy. You can see that, and to be honest, when the store opened, it was the first 3 or 4 weeks was hectic. Like it was basically everyone in there was in survival mode, and I'm actually so surprised and so proud of all the staff in there that they stayed on, because it was wild. And some of them hadn't worked in Charlie's before. Some kids, it was their first ever job. So to think that they stayed on is really good, and you can see that the work that Avalon's done in the culture. They're all good friends. They hang out outside of work, which is cool. If anyone's got a shift that they can't make, someone will cover it straight away. So things like that. But the culture that she's from being in HR and obviously from football as well, I can see how well she's done there. But that's been a big part for sure.
Yeah, I love that. So if anyone listening, if you're in Brisbane, Newstead, Chargrill Charlie's. Go down, check Jack out. And
New Farm.
New Farm.
Close. They're very close to
New
each other.
Farm. Sorry.
You'll find it, and if you're in Newstead, you'll still find it.
Yeah, I love that. All right, let's keep it rolling. Like I said earlier, a season never goes. There's no perfect season. To me, like the game, we all know, we talk about it quite often in the locker room. It's a roller coaster. There's a lot of ups. There's a lot of downs. There's you got to show a lot of resilience over the course of a season as a team, as individuals. Tell me about some of, I guess, the times throughout the season for the team when you guys may have not been playing your best and you may have been getting hammered from the Brisbane media who were just like all over you guys, like with anything. How do you guys deal with that type of stuff, that spotlight in Brisbane?
Oh, look, we sort of just focused on what we could control. We wanted to focus on a bubble of internally of things we could control. We didn't want to worry about the external. There was obviously, at that club, you can have all the media pressure, and as soon as if you lose 1 or 2 games, they're bloody into you. So we just focused on what we could control, kept our heads down, trained really hard, and we sort of knew it would turn around. Went through a couple stages there where it wasn't going that great, but we were able to fight back and look, with the team that we had, we knew our potential, and we just had to keep our head down and work hard.
I love that. And now let's move into the semi-finals now. Like, obviously, it's been a massive back end of the year for the Broncos. The form heading into the finals was electric. We spoke about Reece Walsh, the form he had, the contribution of Billy Walters. I thought was really, really underrated. And I think he's had a tremendous year and adding value at hooker or at half, 5'8", whatever it may be. But the final series, right? Tell me about once you guys sort of locked in that top 4 position, 2 bites at the cherry, and then that week 1 win, which we touched on briefly before, to get the week off in Canberra. Like, how was the sort of feeling around the squad, post that game? Because obviously it took so much out of Canberra and would have just given you guys so much confidence getting the week off.
Yeah, it was obviously, I think it was good that we actually had Melbourne at the last round, because that almost felt like a final in itself. And then leading into Canberra, we trained hard, prepped well, went down there, and it was always going to be a tough trip. It's always a tough trip to Canberra. And they'd been playing really good footy, and then to come out, it was crazy, man. It was like 90 minutes into the game, and I was thinking, whoever loses this game is going to be like, is going to really struggle the following week to back up. Just from physically and mental like drainage of like being that close, and to think about that game with like the different stages of like Canberra almost won it twice, I think. Like, I thought it was over twice, and then for us to come out and win was huge, and the boys needed that rest for sure. Like what they went through, I think it was 94 minutes or something.
Yeah, insane.
So it was good to get that rest, and like, it's bad to say it, but like obviously Canberra had a massive season, but that back-to-back must have been so tough for them physically and emotionally and mentally, and just going through that. But yeah, we needed that rest for sure, and it was nice to get that week off for the boys. It
was insane, man. Like I said, I was watching the game. I was at Clavelli Hotel watching it with some mates, and one of my great spot, and one of my good mates, one of my best mates I grew up with, is a Canberra fan, and when like you said, they almost won it a couple of times. Yep. One time, I think I don't know who scored. It might have been when Jed Stewart scored, I think, next to the post, or he batted it back and Fogarty scored. That's right.
Yeah.
I texted my mate saying, "You just did it." But then I had to unsend it. I unsent it. He said to me, I didn't message him after that. And I was like, far out. He goes, "You messaged me, didn't you?" I said, "Far out. I think I might have early crowed you guys." And but yeah, that was a crazy game. Like I said, probably one of the best games I've ever witnessed. And to get that win for you guys, I thought was massive. And you mentioned Canberra and how much it took out of them. Obviously, they ended up going out in straight sets, and you kind of like, well, it was kind of that's just unfortunately how the way that it kind of goes.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the week off that you guys had, and what were the kind of main focuses for the team and from Madge, around getting that week off, right with regards to your preparation for the following week?
Look, we did the usual thing, reviewed the game, had a little bit of couple days off there, which was good, and then we just started just sharpening the iron, if you will, like just narrowing our focus, skilling up on a few things, and just working on what we were good at. Going through the video, stuff with Baz, stuff with Benny, just little things. Stayed calm day by day, and then just got ready for the following game.
I love that because people ask me what's training like at this time of the year. They just think it's so hard and everything, and it's like it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like training is probably shorter, sharper, and intense and physical when it needs to be, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not, we're not out there doing like anything crazy or condition. It's more like you said, refining the skills, sharpening the iron. The training's been done. You know what I mean? The everything's been done. Let's just refine our skills. Let's just sort of implement some things, some improvements that we need. You get the week off, and then the Panthers, obviously they beat the Bulldogs. So it's Broncos versus Panthers. Now when this game was scheduled for Sunday 4:00 at Suncorp, I'm like, does it get any better? Suncorp, like the fast track. Tell me a bit about like that game, because obviously, you know, there was like some stuff sort of played out in the media, and Walsh, I think he said like, well, they've got to worry about us, and I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, like let's go. So tell me about the focus, or the, you know, heading into play the back to back premiers.
It's crazy the run that they've been on. It's been unbelievable. But I think I saw a stat the other day where they've, since 2021, if they've been up by 12 points, they've run like 98 games in a row or something.
Did see that. Insane,
that was
man.
That's bloody like ridiculous. But then, we just focused on ourselves. We knew that we could put together a game to beat them, and
and if you want to beat the best, you got to
100%. And they looked good. They looked really good against the Dogs. They looked unbelievable, which is no surprise. But they were like gearing towards where they've been every year. But Suncorp, man, I've been to Origin games there, Origin deciders there, and that crowd on Sunday was crazy. Like it was, that back end of the game was like any time we touched the ball, it was deafening. Like it was unbelievable. But that game was, man, it was I don't know. It was just like was like our whole year just worked to that moment, and it was the crowd. I don't think it'll ever be matched like that, just because of like when you think about Penrith's run, the 23 Grand Final, and then it was like do or die for us or them, and it was like I don't think it'll peak like that again. I hope it will, but just everything that went into it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously, like, they got out to a great start. I mean, got to 14-0, and I'm watching the game, and I'm like, look, it's not over here. Like the Broncos can definitely come back. I thought the Panthers really owned like field position early, but then the defense, especially the goal line defense at 14-0, when I was like, far out. If Panthers score again, it's almost game over.
Yeah.
Talk to me about like, you know, your thoughts on, I guess, the back end of the game, and how like the big efforts from the guys to sort of get themselves back in to win the game.
I think we had a really good half time, because I didn't think we were playing our greatest in that first half. I thought we weren't offering a great deal of shape, but we were still definitely in the game, defended out like for our lives out there to only keep it to 12-0. And then in the second half, I think we just stepped it up a gear, and Payne bloody went to another level, as he does. And then our attack started to flow. We started to get more field position, and then as soon as Katoni got that try off the kick, it was like, look out, here we come, because we'd done that obviously a few times during the year. So I think that definitely would have helped the boys, knowing that we've been in that situation before. So they were definitely like calm. They were good at half time, and then we just ended up coming home. And then the moment that Reno had his bloody, it was actually so bad. I jinxed Walshy so bad. When he was about to kick the second goal, I was sitting there, and he's just about to kick it, and I said to I can't remember who, I think Deloise was sitting next to me, and I said to him, I was like, oh, why is Reno not kicking just as he's about to kick it? And then it hit the post, and I was like, oh, fuck, shouldn't have said anything. And then it got to that last try, and then Reno stepped up, and I was like, wow, here we go. Like, this is crazy.
Moment,
and it was just like, you could hardly even watch. It was bloody, my missus, she got a good photo of Reno's partner in the crowd. she was rattled watching that kick, but it was a cool moment.
What a moment, man. I can only imagine how loud it would have been inside Suncorp Stadium, and the moment for Adam Reynolds to kick that goal from the sideline. And obviously, you know, post-game, you get a couple of flashbacks of that 2021 Grand Final that Reno played for South, and how that got missed from the sideline, and the Panthers would go on. It was just great to see him kick that goal. Tell me a bit about, obviously, Grand Final week. We're a couple of days out. How have you guys, I guess, approached the week? How's the preparation been, you know, amongst the wider squad for this week?
Yeah, it's been good. There's obviously a lot more obligations that you got to go through this week, so it's a busy week for sure. Busy couple of days. Come down earlier than you usually would for an away game. Go through some stuff. We did the grand final lunch yesterday, so it's just sort of a get up on stage so people there can see you, and then we did a bit of a fan day as well. Did our main session yesterday as well, which was good. We trained out at the New South Wales Centre of Excellence out there, so that was good. And then we sort of day off today, which is relax. I think the boys are just out doing whatever they want, which is good. Full day of relaxing, and then skippers run tomorrow, and then lead into the game. But look, there's obviously a couple of the boys have been here before and played in a GF, so that's good for them. For me, it's first time experiencing it, so it's cool. It's like it's fun to see it all happen. Makes you really really want to bloody be a part of the team for sure. But it's an interesting week, and it's good now that the obligations and that sort of stuff's done, and we can sort of just relax, and the boys can focus on their footy.
What type of team do you think we'll see on Sunday from the Bronx? Like, they're looking to start, be physical. Like, obviously, this is a team, in my opinion, have strike power absolutely everywhere. Like, I'm sure you guys have a game plan that's really dialed in to take on the Melbourne Storm. Like, do you think we'll see a fast, physical team?
Yeah, for sure. I think big focus on obviously starting the game well, and then defending well. Our kick chase and those first couple of tackles, we just want to be good line speed and everything like that, and just play calm. We know that our attack when we play well is good, so just a calm style of footy.
Oh, I absolutely love that. I'm like calm amongst the chaos.
And I'm saying this because I'm not playing. It sounds easy, but I'm like, if you're playing, you probably be, just play calm.
No, but seriously, like it is, and it's a great bit of advice, I think, for like anyone. Like, it's a big game, right?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I often say it's like, this is like, I wouldn't be preparing like it's just another game. This is not just another game. This is an NRL Grand Final. This is an opportunity for people to cement legacies in the game and create history. There's so many storylines that could potentially come out of this game. Amongst all the Broncos players, the club, Michael Maguire. Like, the stories are just endless for me. And I'm that excited about it. But I just want to get your thoughts on the Melbourne Storm and obviously the dynasty that they've been for such a long time. Craig Bellamy's coached for 22 seasons. He's been in 11 grand finals. Like, his record is absolutely phenomenal. What's your take been on the Storm, this season, and how do you think they've been? Yeah,
they're obviously that good of a team, and they're always finish top 4 pretty much every year.
Guaranteed, mate.
Guaranteed. And like, it doesn't matter what team they put together over the years, or who leaves or whatever, they still somehow find their way to get there. So it's gonna be an amazing game. It's always a tough trip, isn't it? Going down to Melbourne to versus Storm. They're physical and wrestle well and everything like that, which everyone speaks about, but they're still able to do it. But they've got strike power on the team. Who knows what's going to happen? There's each team's got unbelievable players, and I'm just hoping it's going to be obviously a really good game and good for the fans, and I'm sure it definitely will be. I want to actually know what I've obviously broken my arms 3 times. I want to know what surgeon Jerome uses. To think that he's playing after 3 weeks or whatever, I'm very interested to find out the ins and outs of what's actually happened there. But that's obviously I'm very excited for Sunday. Yeah, that's awesome. Man, it's crazy. Like the guard he had, it was like absolutely massive. Crazy. I mean, and you were double guarding this year, weren't you? Yeah, I love that look. Much having a double guard, like it's. That's you, bro. That's you. I walk around and I've got my bloody body armor to pack on before every game, but yeah, it is what it is. But once they're on you, you're just ready to go. No dramas. All right, give me your score prediction. I mean, obviously Jack's going. Obviously, you're going Broncos. Yep. Give me your score prediction and who you think's going to win the Clive Churchill on Sunday. Oh, score prediction. I'm going to go 20-12, obviously to Broncos, and then Clive. I'm feeling. I think Payne's going to be a massive. Payne or Paddy, can't choose. Well, they're both
going to be in and around there somewhere.
Yep. They'll both probably play 80 minutes. So
Yeah, 100%.
They'll be there for the whole
100% they
thing,
will.
so.
100% they will. All right, lastly, mate. I know you love your golf. Tell me a bit about your golf and what's happening with golf, because I know obviously a broken arm isn't great for golf. Either is a broken collarbone. I see you guys obviously go on a bit of a golf trip this year as Broncos. You touched on connection and how important it is, or how important it was for you guys for this year. And in my opinion, obviously we know everyone knows how much I love golf, but golf plays an integral part for me in the connection and bringing players closer together off the field, because quite often when we play golf, we don't necessarily talk about footy, do we? We just go out there, we're competing against each other, we're playing for money, we're having banter. Tell me a bit about, obviously, the connection of you guys and what golf has done for the group.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. As you said, we try to get out there every week if we can. I haven't been able to play as much this year with everything going on. I've just got new clubs, new bag, new everything. So they're collecting dust at the moment, which sucks. But yeah, we did the Bonneville trip, which was unbelievable. I think that was just during a bye week. We had a couple of days off, so we travelled down there to play that. Renault's actually a life member down there, I'm pretty sure. So lucky man to be there at such a good course.
Awesome.
But yeah, like you said, just getting on the court, you forget about everything, and you just worry about having fun and golfing. And then obviously the worst part about golf is when the round finishes, isn't it? You got to go back to your the real life struggle. But that Bonneville trip was awesome, and yeah, there's so many boys that play at the Bronx, so we've always got a good crew to get out there. And I think it was maybe 8 of us or no more that went down to Bonneville, so it was mad. Such a good trip, and like you said, if you play golf during the week, it feels like you've prepped well, don't you? And and then it obviously gives you something to talk about during the week. Once you've played golf, you're back in the sheds and you're talking about that round or who won or banter or anything like that. So it's really good for connection,
100%. I think it's like, especially, because quite often when we play on the weekends, we lose both our days on the weekend. So we get, 2 days off during the week, that day off earlier in the week where it's like we just get a full day and you just want to hang out, de-stress, go and have some golf. Absolutely love it, mate. Look, I just want to say massive thanks for coming on today and having a chat.
Thanks for having
me. Really
me.
Appreciate it. As a mate, I'm just very proud of what you've been able to do and off the field. Absolutely killing it with Chargrill Charlie's. I can't wait. Victor and I might have to head up one day and do a food review. What do you reckon? We'll get some.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go.
We'll get some content, but we'll be coming up.
Love that.
Mate, good luck on Sunday. Obviously, we're sending you and the rest of the team best wishes. May the best team win, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks very much. Been a pleasure.